Good evening and namaskar. The stock market is in a downward plunge for quite some time. In fact, Purinzu Veliath, the ACE small cap and mid cap specialist investor and portfolio manager, has written a letter to all his investors explaining the losses being made in the stock market, and he has attributed this plunge to the budget. I agree with him to a certain extent, but I feel there are other reasons also. Now let us take a look at the latest trend. See, on July 19th, Sensex has taken a plunge by 560 points. Nifty plunged by 178 points. Mid cap plunged by 361 points. Small cap has plunged by 248 points. That is on July 19th. On July 22nd, again, Sensex plunged by 306 points, Nifty by 73 points, CNX mid cap by 93 points, small cap by 153 points. Now, the Nifty 50 is nowhere near its 52-week high. 52-week high is 12,103, low is 10,000, and Nifty is now at around 11,300. So it is closer to the 52-week low, but not closer to the 52-week high. Mid cap, similarly, it is at 16,000, whereas 52-week high is 20,000. Where is 16,000 present? 52-week high 20,000 mid cap. Now 52-week low is 15,000. So mid cap is very close to the 52-week low. Government should worry. SEBI should worry. Everybody concerned with the stock market and the company's performance should worry. Now BSE small cap, similarly, see, so 52-week high is 17,300. 52-week low is 13,880. And now we are close to that, 13,100 odd. 13,088 is the 52-week low. Now we are very close to that. So if this is the typical market pattern. When we are 52-week low, government should wake up. SEBI should wake up. Others concerned with the stock market health now should wake up. Now, if the small cap indices are closer, mid cap are closer to 52-week lows, it means the confidence of the investors is shaken. Purinzu Veliath is right in pointing out that budget is not helping the investors. He is right. There is nothing in the budget to help the investors to invest. Budget must actually promote all sectors of the economy. Budget must not dissuade investment in companies. But in the last 2 years, capital investment in companies has come down drastically. In fact, for quite some time. Bank, it's not that capital investment is not coming because of lack of funds. Banks are flush with funds. There are no takers for big ticket loans. There are no takers for small ticket loans, which means there is no expansion. So the demand is coming down, probably. Companies are not expanding. Companies are bound. See, right now, most Indian companies are Indian companies. They are not international companies. Very few are international companies. So exports, see, there is a huge export market awaiting, but Indian companies are not going in for such export performance. That may be because of lower technology, whatever, but it shows the companies are not having the guts to expand, to become MNCs like Chinese companies. Now, if you look at banks, banks are having funds, but they are also having NPAs. So, every bank is declaring NPAs almost every quarter. More or less, something like that. And it is disquieting. So, this time the economic survey and the budget. They are silent on the stock market. Stock market is the real-time barometer of the Indian economy. The economic survey may have indicated various sectors, but look at the auto sector, look at the airline sector, look at the telecom sector, all are failing. All are coming down. There is no growth. Now, the economic survey is not taking into account some of these factors. Now, what are the dampeners which came through the last two budgets as far as the stock market is concerned? The long-term capital gains was the dampener. Now, this time, the tax on the FPIs is the dampener. When small investors are not making money, why do you go for a long-term capital gains tax and why do you go for a tax on FPIs? It's not wise. When long-term capital gains tax was introduced, the market was on the high. Purinzu and others were supporting it, but I was skeptical even then. The market is, Indian stock market is not stable enough for such taxes. When a person is making long-term capital gains, there are so many persons making long-term capital losses. Now, government is not reimbursing them in any form, compensating them in any form with in respect of their capital losses. Now, if you don't compensate them for capital losses, don't tax them for the capital gains. It is an unjust tax. Likewise, the tax on the FPIs is also unjust. FPIs have got the freedom to withdraw and go to other markets, and they are doing it. So it is a foolish measure. That's what I feel. Now, in the process, what is happening is when the stock market is going down to their 52-week lows, etc., the Indian investors' wealth, especially the small investors' wealth, is getting wiped out. We are looking at it daily. So, why will any new Indian investor come into the market if every day the market is going down? In respect of many companies, you will find that there are only sellers and there are no buyers. A large number of sellers, very few buyers. So that's not the way market should run. A few years ago, the system of independent directors was introduced in the company. It's not working well. The independent directors must not only see procedural irregularity, they should also see how the company is performing. And why? Why are the sales coming down? Why are the profits coming down? They should report. If the profits and sales have come down by 60%, 70%, it must be their duty to report it to the government with measures. They must suggest the measures. Independent directors do not seem to be doing that. So, why I say that is, the system of independent directors was introduced, but it must be strengthened to ensure that the companies perform better. So, lakhs of crores of bank money is turning into NPAs. Now, look at the telecom sector. Telecom sector, so many operators were given spectrum based on money given by them. But where from did the money come? It came from the banks, it came from the bank loans, it came from the depositors, it came from the Indian public. The government has taken that money and it is very happy that it has got 1 lakh crores from each of them. But the money has come from the Indian public. And today many of the companies have closed down and many are running into losses. Your taxes may have come, but the companies are going down. The telecom sector is in a bad state of health except Jio. And when Jio has introduced predatory pricing, Troy did nothing. Troy should have helped the other telecom operators also to withstand the onslaught of Jio. Today, even the public sector behemoth, BSNL and MTNL, they are in deep financial troubles. Government is trying to bail them out, but it is finding it difficult. So, if it had helped the other telecom operators, naturally BSNL, MTNL also would have been helped. But that did not happen. Similar thing is happening with the airline sector. How many airlines do you think are making the profits today? And why? Because I think, in my opinion, when I analyzed a few years ago, one factor which is a major factor is air traffic fuel. Air traffic fuel, if it is made a little cheaper, the whole sector will become healthy. You will get the taxes anyway. More people will fly, more people will pay more taxes. But if state government and central government are levying huge taxes on ATF fuel, the whole airline sector is becoming sick. Likewise, chemical sector. Chemical sector has no reason whatsoever to fail, but that also is failing. So, the independent directors are not reporting the reasons. Now, let us look from the company's angles. Now, what do we need for the companies? Companies are declaring very bland results. So, this is my sales, this is my profits, etc. We want them to tell the reasons. Why profits have fallen by 60%, 70%? Why sales have come down? They should tell the reasons. And if the sales and profits are likely to improve in the next quarter or next quarter, they should make an investor presentation showing these aspects also. Some companies are giving beautiful information in the shape of investor presentations. But all companies should be forced to come out with investor presentations giving detailed operational performance indicators. Why profits have fallen now and what the company is going to do to improve those profits. If that sort of confidence building measures are taken, the small investors may not lose their confidence in the companies. Otherwise, when profits fall down by 60% or 70%, people will leave the companies. There will be more sellers, there will be no buyers, companies' share prices will fall drastically. Now they have fallen from by 75%, something like that, in many companies. So the 52-week small cap index is very close to 52-week low. The latest index is closer to 52-week low. That should be a matter of concern for everybody. Now, what should the investors do? Investors should demand such investor presentations from containing operational information on what the company is doing. Sometimes the company's profits and sales go down for temporary reasons. Understandable. But company should say that. Otherwise, all people will leave the company. So that's what is happening. So the Indian market, Indian companies are still not mature enough to retain their customers, retain their investors. So retaining the investors must be a priority for the government, and then for the SEBI, and then for the companies. So if this is done, probably the current dampening mood, the downtrend will be arrested, and there might be a positive mood infused into the market. I hope all of you will make appropriate shouting comments, etc., so that government will listen. Somebody will listen. If we are all shouting, government will listen. Companies should listen. See, making an investor presentation is good for the companies. You must ask for it. Write to the companies. Write to SEBI. Write to NSE. Ask them to insist on investor presentations. Why profits have fallen? Why sales have fallen? Make a operational study and tell us. If this is done, probably within 1 or 2 months, if all companies make such investor presentations indicating when the company's downward trend in profits and sales will be arrested and there will be positive trend, if that much is done, I hope there will be positive trend in market also. The independent directors should ensure that. Company should ensure that. SEBI should ensure that. NSE, BSE should ensure that. Government should ensure that. Government should withdraw the long-term capital gains. My strong feeling is, in a volatile market, unpredictable market like that of the Indian market, you can't go on levying taxes like this. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala may have succeeded, but lakhs of small investors are suffering. See, for every successful big investor who is prominent in the newspapers, there are lakhs of investors who are failing. They should not fail. No investor should fail. No company should fail. That should be the aim of the government. Thank you for listening. I'll be back with reviews on the companies. But please make your comments. Tell your views. Somebody will listen. Your comments will not go waste. So somebody will listen, and I do hope that the dampening mood in the market, the downward trend will be arrested quickly, and upward movement will start. Thank you.